Hi, my name is Adam Chamberlain from Elite Pro Golf, and today I'm going to give you the one thing that I must hear every single golf lesson or every person that I see in a golf lesson every time is, please want to be more consistent. I just want to be more consistent. Okay, great thing, and this is what we all want to do. We want to be more consistent so we can play better golf. But how do you become more consistent in a game that is anything but consistent? And what I mean by that is, the weather's different every day, the ground conditions are different every day, the green speeds can vary depending on where you're playing, the temperature changes, you can be unlucky with the lies, all these sort of things. So you're talking about a game that's very inconsistent, and we want to be consistent. Okay, so how can we do this? Well, I'm going to ask you to think about your game and think about what you do with your practice, your pre-shot routine, and how you control what you can control in order to become more consistent. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is how can you control your ball position? Okay, ball position has a massive influence on strike, direction, and controlling the club face at impact. So ball position is massive for each and every golfer, and I see far too many people that make a setup and the ball position can seemingly vary kind of this much, which to be honest is too much. Now, every day we feel slightly different, so sometimes it does change slightly, but I'm talking about moving the ball position just a little bit, okay? So this is what I want you to do. Now, you need to find the correct ball position for you because everybody has a different ball position depending on the way you move your body. So I'm not going to go into detail about that too much here. But so I'm hitting a sand wedge shot, so I like a wedge shot here. So from here, feet together, I'm going to go small step, and now I've got my self-set up ball is middle or maybe slightly forwards of middle. Just a quick one as well to notice when the toes are pointing in, if I kind of go small step, small step. I also hear a lot of people that the pros have the ball back in the stance all the time with a wedge. Ball looks pretty centered here. Okay, now look. So now I've rotated my left toe out. Ball position looks back, appears back on the camera. And that's simply because of the way the left foot position is. So please don't be too wary of this. Everybody, again, has their own ball position. So use this as a routine. Left foot, little step, or slightly bigger step depending on the club. You need to control the position of the ball in your stance. I suggest feet together, small step. If you do the same step every time, you can control your ball position every single time. Now, the other things that you can control are setup as well. Grip, club face alignment, all these things, hold the club up, put your grip on, get the hands in the right position. Then from here, then we go through our ball position like this. Also distance from the ball. Am I too close to home? I need to be a bit closer. Am I in the correct posture? Depending on what you're working on. Small step, right, now I'm set, ready to go. If you can control these small things and do them the same every single time, you're going to be more consistent. So what I'm trying to say is, the one thing that you can control every time is the things you do before you hit the ball. Club face, grip, ball position, setup, distance from the ball, your balance. These are the things that you can control, and most of the time are overlooked because we're too busy thinking about a swing position to overlook these simplicities or appear to be simple basics. Now, remember, these are the things that a lot of tour pros are working on daily, so we need to make sure that we're working on them every time we practice, and this is going to help us become more consistent. Okay, also, pre-shot routine. Are you doing the same thing every time you play a shot? So are you thinking about the wind, the flag location, and where you would like to hit the shot? And if you hit a bad one, where would you like to miss? If you're not, that's something that you definitely need to be doing, because if you're playing a hole and the pin's tight to the left and you just think, right, fire your laser, 140, okay, that is my whatever club it is, and I'm going to hit straight at the flag. Oh, I've pulled it a couple of yards to the left, it's run down off the green, and now I've got a difficult chip. When actually, you probably should have played to the right of the hole, and maybe you should have even played short of the hole because of, let's say, the slope, for instance. It's an easier putt from short of the hole up the hill than it is past the hole down the slope. So all these things add up for more consistent golf. It also gives your brain a really good image of what you would like it to do. And a great thing to think about when it comes to your pre-shot routine. I'm going to ask you this question. If I asked you to draw a picture, your first question you'd ask me is, of what? Now, if I said to you, I want you to draw a ball, what type of ball? Well, I want you to draw a basketball. You would have then an image. Your brain would have an image of what you would like it to draw. And your brain is exactly the same on the golf course. So when you're trying to play a shot, you need to tell your brain exactly what you want it to do. Actually, we're going to go, okay, so for instance, on this hole, I've got 101 yards. I'm going to aim slightly left of the hole, and I'm going to try and hit it because it's downhill. I'm going to try and hit slightly short of the hole. So I'm going to play 95 yards in my head. Okay, cool. So practice swing, feeling 95 yards, and I'm going to try and hit this ball with an ever so slight fade. Get lined up, get set up, feel the fade, see the shot. Good. And that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to feel in my swing. You then have a really good image of what you would require from your body, and that's how you play better. And it sounds really simple. Most people don't do that in that order consistently. If you can't do that consistently, again, and you can't control your setup consistently, we're not going to be consistent, are we? So these are the things, the small things, most things are overlooked in order to be consistent. Now, the last thing, the final thing, is when you go to the driving range and when you go to practice, you need to make sure, funnily enough, you work on the same things consistently. For instance, if you're working on your takeaway, every time you work on your swing, you should be working on your takeaway. But don't forget the basics, the ball position, the setup, the stance. Let's get all of this stuff right. But that's also every time we're working on a takeaway, and we do the same kind of routine every time you practice. If you want to be consistent, you need to make sure that all areas of your game are being worked on consistently. Most people I see neglect certain areas of their game. Couldn't be that they're really good at that area. But often what happens is, let's say they're slicing the ball with a driver, they spend an awful lot of time fixing their slice, they fix the slice, go out to play, and if their putting doesn't work, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, we fixed the driver now and the putting's not working. Because what's happened is you're not consistently working on every part of the game. Some areas always have more work than others, but make sure you're being consistent with your setup, your pre-shot routine, and your practice, and then you've got a very good chance of playing consistent golf day in, day out, or week in, week out. So let's get more consistent, let's work on things consistently, and let's play better golf.